What's up, everyone? I hope you're all having a great day. If you're not, then hopefully this song cheers you up a bit. This is another episode of One Hit Wonders. This episode on One Hit Wonders is on the 1990 hit song Groove Is in the Heart by the group Deee-lite. Alright, so before we can get into it, first we have to define what a hit song is. Some people have different definitions of what a hit song is, so it's not easy to pin it down. Some say a hit is just a song that's in the collective mind of the people, whether it's high in the charts or not, and some say it has to be really popular on the charts. The general consensus is that if the song is in the top 40 on the Billboard Hot 100, then it's a hit. There are songs that are massively popular songs that weren't released as singles, though, and in order to enter the Billboard Hot 100, a song has to be released as a single. One example is the song The Chain by Fleetwood Mac. It wasn't released as a single, but it's a classic song and it's incredibly popular. There are also songs that are massively popular now, but weren't popular when they were originally released as singles. An example of that are the songs Blitzkrieg Pop and I Wanna Be Sedated by the Ramones. Two very popular classic songs in the punk rock world and music in general, but neither one of them charted at all. Now, those two groups aren't one-hit wonders, but I'm just trying to prove a point. To me, because music is subjective and we need some sort of technical and solid way to measure it, a hit song is a song from an artist or group that was in the top 40 of the Billboard Hot 100, and obviously it was their only hit on the top 40 of the Billboard Hot 100. Based on those specifications, the song Groove Is in the Heart is definitely a one-hit wonder. Groove Is in the Heart was a #1 hit on the U.S. Hot Dance Club Play chart, but it also went to #4 on the Billboard Hot 100, making this Deee-lite's only hit song. They've had numerous hits on the U.S. Hot Dance Club Play charts, but we're just focusing on the Hot 100. They came close in the same year on the same debut album called World Click with the song Power of Love, but that song fell short by 7 spots at number 47. VH1 ranked Groove Is in the Heart number 67 on their 100 greatest songs of the 90s list. Pitchfork ranked at number 59 on their The Top 200 Tracks of the 1990s list. BuzzFeed ranked at number 3 on their The 101 Greatest Dance Songs of the 90s list. Slant Magazine also ranked at number 3 on their The 100 Best Dance Songs of All Time list. Billboard ranked at number 68 on their Best Pop Songs of All Time list. And lastly, Rolling Stone ranked at number 233 on their The 500 Greatest Songs of All Time list. The group Deee-lite started in 1986 in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, and New York, and they got their group name from a Cole Porter song called It's DeLovely from a 1936 musical called Red, Hot, and Blue, starring Jimmy Durante, Ethel Merman, and Bob Hope. Deee-lite was comprised of lead singer Kieran Magenta Kirby, a.k.a. Lady Miss Kier, Dimitri Brill, a.k.a. Super DJ Dimitri, Dong Hwa Chung, a.k.a. Jungle DJ Tower Tower, and when Tower Tower left the group before their third and final studio album, Dewdrops in the Garden, in 1994, DJ Ani joined them until their end in the same year. Groove Is in the Heart by Deee-lite is one of the most recognizable and funky songs ever that pretty much defines the summer of 1990. It's an infusion of funk, house, disco, hip-hop, and dance pop. Not only is it a funky earworm, but the music video is equally as funky and recognizable, but was Groove Is in the Heart an original, as some people might think? I could have used Groove Is in the Heart in one of my popular song samples videos here, but I felt like this one-hit wonder deserved its own video because it could fill an entire song samples video. More on that in just a minute. I don't remember exactly where I was or what I was doing when I heard this song for the first time, but I remember it being different from anything I've ever heard before, and that's because I didn't grow up in the mid-60s to the late 70s, which leads me to asking if the song was totally original. I'll tell you what I mean. I wasn't as inquisitive with music then as I am now, and that's understandable because I was just 11 years old, but Deee-lite had a lot of help making this a hit song. The first sample that they used involves Herbie Hancock and the bass on his song Bring Down the Birds on the original soundtrack album for the movie Blow Up from 1966. Add in a sample of the drums on Vernon Burch's song Get Up from his album Get Up from 1976 as well. Now smash them together and you get the main music for Groove is in the Heart.
Deee-lite, 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 Deee-lite. We're going to dance. We're going to dance. We're going to dance and have some fun.
Dig.
I'm sure some of you noticed a familiar face in there with Parliament Funkadelic bassist Bootsy Collins, who did background vocals for Groove is in the Heart. He also did a rap on a remix, but we're just going to deal with the original song. Now, all the members of Deee-lite, Herbie Hancock, and Jonathan Davis, who is better known as the rapper Q-Tip from the group A Tribe Called Quest, all have writing credits on the song. We'll get to Q-Tip's rap later, but what I found weird is that Vernon Birch and the other songwriters that Groove is in the Heart sampled aren't credited as songwriters on the song, even though Deee-lite used their songs as samples. At least I couldn't find any information of them being credited as songwriters. It's actually a pretty long list of samples. Besides Herbie Hancock and Vernon Birch, Groove is in the Heart also samples multiple elements from Introduction from the album The Art of Belly Dancing from 1969 by Belshazzar with Tommy Gina Papa Lewis and the Grecian Knights. Drums from Right On from the album Barretto Power from 1970 by Ray Barretto. Drums from The Soul Drummers from 1968 by Ray Barretto. Drums from Jam on the Groove from the album Sound of a Drum from 1976 by Ralph McDonald. Drums from Uptight from the album Wildest Organ in Town from 1966 by Billy Preston. Drums from Band of Love from the album The Elephant's Memory from 1969 by Elephant's Memory, that was fronted by John Lennon and Yoko Ono, and even had Carly Simon for a short time. Vocals and lyrics from Hateful Head Helen by Hateful Head Helen in 1989. Multiple elements from Love from the album Ubiquity from 1970 by Roy Ayers. And finally, it even samples Ava Gabor on a loop for her work on the TV theme song of Green Acres in 1965, where she says the word I. You can hear that song in the most recent video I did on the greatest TV theme songs of all time right here. So that samples from 11 different songs in total. I guess the parts that they used from artists that didn't get credit didn't qualify as melodically identifiable enough to qualify for credits. We didn't even get to discussing the lyrics from the first verse yet. Those samples are throughout the entire song and not just before the first verse, but I just wanted to get that out of the way. I mean, look, lots of songs use samples, and there are even some people that think songs that sample, including Groove, are rip-offs and devoid of any artistic integrity, but I'm not here to judge. I'm just trying to give as full a picture as I possibly can of this one-hit wonder, and it's just true that it samples a lot of other different songs. Listen to Lady Miss Kier being asked about the samples in the song and kind of awkwardly explaining using them properly to enhance your artistry on Club MTV with Downtown Julie Brown in 1990.
Well, a lot of people, you know, they feel like sampling is a little bit, they've all got their own answers for why bands do a bit of sampling, but yours is pretty nice, so why do you do it?
Thank you. Well, the sampler is like the electric guitar of the 60s. It's definitely here to stay. It's really just a matter of how you use it. It's a tool, and it really just depends, you know, if you're going to take a big chunk of something wholesale, if you can't write it yourself, then you should get permission, and you should pay them. But if you can't, then you should just write your own sample, you know, write your own hooks.
Okay, then, well, that's exactly. You're going to stick around for a while?
Despite that, there are definitely original parts to this song, and that includes the lyrics and vocal melody, no matter how nonsensical the lyrics are in parts. Lead singer Lady Miss Kier said that the song was inspired by her love of 70s music and fashion, and that's apparent in the samples and the visuals in the music video. What inspired the lyrics can be interpreted in a couple of ways, and there's some double entendres there. Take a listen to the first verse.
The chills that you spill up my back keep me filled with satisfaction when we're done. Satisfaction of what's to come. I couldn't ask for another. No, I couldn't ask for another.
Oh, that's right.
Your groove, I do deeply dig. No walls, only the bridge. My supper dish, my crocketesh wish.
Sing it, baby.
I couldn't ask for another.
Those lyrics sound like one of two situations to me. The first is just pleasure through the love of music and dancing, but the other is the interpretation of pleasure through with the lover, and it could be seen as just downright dirty. She's talking about the chills that you spill up my back keep me filled with satisfaction when we're done. satisfaction of what's to come. I couldn't ask for another. I don't know about you, but that sounds like the money shot. She also says she couldn't ask for another or better lover. Hey, this isn't the Disney Channel. This can also apply to music, though. We all know how we start to feel when we hear music that we love. It's a spiritual experience, and we can get chills, and when we're done with a song, sometimes we put it on repeat because it just talks to us like almost nothing else can. Next, she says, your groove I do deeply dig, no walls, only the bridge. My supper dish, my succotash wish. Now that kind of sounds like gibberish, but I saw one interpretation that said it seems like she's talking about wanting to try, but she feels comfortable with the guy and her walls are down, and she wants you to cross that bridge onto the journey to the stink wrinkle, to put it very poetically. The other interpretation is that once again she's digging the groove of the music, and of course we all know that a specific part in a lot of songs is the bridge. She mentions my supper dish, my succotash wish, and that can also be her consuming the music like some soul food. For those that don't know, succotash is actually a food dish created by indigenous people in the 1200s in what is now known as New England, and the dish consists of sweet corn and different beans and or vegetables. It could also just mean nothing, and she just thought it sounded good. The verse melody is very catchy with different dynamics and rhythms, and it's a really interesting sound despite the verse just going back and forth between a couple of chords. It's interesting to me because the melody is in short spurts, then it arches a bit with drops and rises in the vocal notes, as you can see here, and that's part of what makes it interesting. That's how I've heard the Beatles' vocal melodies described, as arching with the melodic shapes, and I'm not comparing Deee-lite to the Beatles. I'm just saying it reminds me of the same vocal technique when constructing a melody. Now let's listen to the chorus. All right, so the chorus is really simple in terms of lyrics with the hook, and it's also more of the arching melody that we saw in the verse. It's once again really catchy. I don't think there's anyone on this planet that can't recite this chorus from memory. Now we move on to the second verse.
Watch out.
Just lovely and delicious.
All right, so once again, very ambiguous lyrics. The depth of hula groove moves us to the nth hoop. We're gonna groove to Horton here's a hoo-hoo. I don't have the slightest clue what the hell that means. I saw one band named Hula Groove while researching, but they seem to be pretty new. And Hula was a band too from the UK in the early 80s, but I'm not sure she's talking about them either. And I don't know what the hell it means to groove to Horton here's a hoo-hoo. It might just be another case of her liking how it fits with the melody. Sometimes you just gotta fill those syllables. It can also mean she likes the way that they're moving in bed and the sounds that people make. Then we have the second part of the second verse when she says, DJ Soul was on a roll. I've been told he can't be sold. He's not vicious or malicious, just the lovely and delicious. Same difference here. It's a very all-around ambiguous song with the lyrics, but then again, that's what can make a song really fun when you get to interpret the lyrics any way you want. That's why a lot of artists don't want to tell you what the songs are about, because they just want your imagination to take hold and they don't want to ruin it for you. So if you think that the song is about, I don't know, unicorns, and they say, oh no, that was just about me going to school every day with a pencil in my back pocket. It kind of takes the magic out of the song. The last major part of the song is Q-Tip's rap after the second verse.
Something lurks in this torso. Heart got a deal you wanna know. Delightful, truly delightful. Making it, doing it, especially at a show. Feeling kinda high like a Hendrix haze. Music makes motion moves like a maze. All inside of me, heart especially. Hilt of the rhythm, where I wanna be. Flowing, glowing with electric eyes. You dip to the dive, baby, you'll realize. Baby, you'll see the funk inside of me. Baby, you'll see that rhythm is the key. Get with it, can't think, quit it. Stomp on the stoop when I hear funk blue. Playing pop pipe, follow her to shoot. Baby, just sing about the groove. Sing it.
The rap here functions sort of like a bridge in a song where the listener kind of gets their palate cleansed so they can have a different sound from the verse and re-ingest the repeated chorus coming afterwards so it sounds more fresh. Q-Tip's rap breaks it down and brings the energy back down with the instrumentation, and then you get hit with the highly infectious and catchy chorus again, leading you to the end of the song. And the rap is also definitely pretty ambiguous. If I had to guess, the song probably isn't about although it's a valid interpretation because a lot of songs are euphemisms for I think Groove is in the Heart is about the freedom and joy that music brings people. It's like the old saying, dance like nobody's watching. It's about feeling the spirit and the soul and letting it groove you and being who you are no matter what anyone else says and no matter whoever else is around. Lady Miss Keir told DJ Mag in 2020 that she and Dimitri, her then boyfriend, lived in the New York City club scene. We were out at least 5 nights a week, him in the DJ booth and myself on his dance floor, she says. We weren't out to drink or do drugs, we were there to dance. I love the song and I'm thankful that my love for DJ culture helped create a classic Back of the Crates track, Keir says. Who could ask for more than that? It proved to me that occasionally a song can make it into the US airwaves even though there was no promotion budget to put it there. Most of the best music doesn't get that chance. Somebody must have been looking over me. Whether this song is about Lady Miss Keir's love of music and dancing, or something else altogether, it will go down as one of the funkiest and most catchy songs in the history of music, and the people that love it don't care about the samples. They only care about the way the song makes them feel. Alright? So I hope you enjoyed this episode of One Hit Wonders with the iconic song Groove is in the Heart by the group Deee-lite, and I'll see you next week in a new video.
Oh yeah, don't forget, Groove is in the heart, and Deee-lite has definitely been known to smoke. On stage, that is.
De-groove it.